Hey, welcome Cancer to the channel. My name is Robin and this is my channel AriesFireTarot. So guys, I'm doing your March 2020 bonus read, and this reading is going to be good for any time that you happen to come across it, because I'm doing this special reading. It's called the Mother Wound. And I'm doing this because I just had sort of an energy healing session with a friend of mine, and he helped me clear some karma related to my family. So I thought it might be really helpful for, you know, my YouTube family to help clear karma, you know. And I found this spread called Mother Wound. So it is going to look on your maternal side of the family and hopefully help you heal and move on. I think that no matter how healthy your family is or who you grew up with, do you know what I mean? There's so many different family dynamics. There's probably always going to be some pain involved, and pain can hold you back on your current journey. So I want to totally respect the fact, you guys, that some people did not grow up with their mother for some circumstances. You know, you could have grown up in a family that was not your genetic family. Your mother could have passed away. I understand all of that, and I just want to send blessings to you guys. But this is going to look at the energy of your family, like your real karmic ties. So I hope that you find this healing, and, you know, let me know what you think in the comments, guys, of the reading. All right, so be prepared, you guys. This is going to be a deep one. So the first card we're going to look at is a message from your maternal grandmother. So yeah, let me pull a good tarot card right away here. I'm going to do a deck cut. So this is a great card here, you guys. Your grandmother really wants you to see that, you know, everything is possible for you. Everything and anything that you ever dreamed of is possible with the World card. You know, it's like you're on the playing field of life, and your grandmother is like kind of bouncing up and down on the sidelines with her pom-poms, and she's like, go, go, you know, and she's just so proud of you. And you know, regardless of your relationship, you know, she's still there. You know, if she is passed on or if you never met her or whatever, you know, she always wanted the best for you. And I really am just getting this sweet, like really sweet, pure love for you. And just, she just wants you to have the best experience ever. And this is why we're getting this World card with the other bodies, like heavenly bodies around it, because, you know, she might not be here, or you might not ever met her, but she's really, you know, your grandmother's prayers always protect you. So that's what I'm seeing here. She's just really your biggest cheerleader, and I love that. So let's see, the next card is going to be, what lesson do I have to learn because of my mother? So we have the King of Water. So this King of Water, man, it's like things have been a bit of a shipwreck, you know? And I see you guys are kind of out in front of it, and it's kind of like, you know, just really challenging the world. You know what I mean? I feel like it's like you guys are like almost like, come on, like, why? You know, like, they're just getting really powerful emotions here, you guys. Like, it's really, really strong. It's like that movie Perfect Storm, you know, where they're like, yeah, and then realizing that there is something more powerful out there, you know, and you can stand and you can yell and scream and you can fight against it, but there is another powerful force out there. And this is something that really is coming to you through your mother. There's a real call here for you guys to find your flow with the universe, you know, and to feel really strong and powerful, but understand that the universe is going to do what it wants to do, and you're going to have your plan, and you're going to have to release the outcome to understand that, like, if you're a God person or a source person, universe, angels, they're going to take you there how they want to get you there. You know, so you can have your plan, but understand your plan is never a straight line. Your plan is a wild, rollicking roller coaster. And sometimes it's going to feel like you want to just like freak out, like, why did that happen? Why was I in a car accident? Why did I lose my job? Why did I lose that person in my life? And you're just going to like, ah. So you're going to have these seasons where you're going to just want to really hate the world. But the lesson here is that the world is going to do what it wants to do. And you're not a victim of the world. You're an observer. So things are happening for you, not to you. So that's a really important lesson for you guys to learn. And maybe your mother never understood that. Like, and maybe she was always opposing things and like fighting the good fight, or being really like brought down to a really low level because of that. So this is something you guys really just need to look at for yourselves. And this is, I could probably talk about this card for another hour, but I'm going to move on. So message from higher angels, you guys. Well, I think this is really appropriately timed, seeing that like sometimes the energy around you is really like an opposing force. So the message from the angels is the Hanged Man. So they're saying, try to find a different way of looking at things. Like, and you know, there are people that believe that there is a gift in every lesson, whether it's a good lesson or a fun lesson according to how you perceive it, or a really hard lesson, you know, and that is all part of your journey. So some people just stay so grateful. And I have a friend like that. You know, he's just always so grateful, and he had to work on that. You know, he wasn't always like that. So I'm seeing how you can change your perspective, and with the help of the angels you can do that, and try to be grateful for everything. And it might not be in the same moment or the same day, but you know, maybe with some hindsight and perspective, and maybe you can shift how you look at how things are happening for you. So I think it's going to take a little bit of work, because you kind of need to go from this King of Cups energy where he's like, he's stirring up the seas with his anger, you know, he's like making things like peak and valley, and there's another way of looking at life, you guys. So let's see the best quality that you inherited from your mother. So we have the Five of Water. So, I mean, this is a tough best quality, you guys. This is like being unable to look at the future because you're being so hung up by the past. So, like, some people handle the hard times in life, they handle grief differently, you know, and look at it as if it was an infliction, you know, and just sort of looking at things that went wrong instead of looking at things that went well. But if you grew up watching that, maybe you were able to turn that around. And the angels really want you to be able to do that and look at things and be joyful about what is possible instead of what was taken away or, you know, never received. So I'm really seeing a strong pattern here from the angels, like from your maternal grandmother, to open up your eyes to the possibility instead of seeing the limitations. And, you know, rather than being angry and opposing, sort of learn how to go with the flow of life. And some of those lessons, like some of the flow is going to be painful, but how long you carry it with you and how long you choose to look at it is going to be completely up to you. And if it's something that is a learned intrinsic behavior running through your family, it could be a little bit difficult for you guys to break away from it. So let's see what the worst quality you inherited from your mother is. So you have 2 5s, first of all. So angel number 5, you guys. So you have the 5 of air. So this is sort of not taking responsibility for the things that happened, you know, and kind of moving on. There's a real detachment here, you know. So I'm seeing that there could be a lack of real responsibility, or just not being able to assimilate that and just having to move on. You know, some people only have the capacity to absorb so much. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that this is an intentional thing. It's just some people, they start to, they have shortages, you know, and they just can't take it, and they just have to turn away from things before it really fries them. You know, some people, they just need to do the things that make them happy and not deal with anything else and just kind of move on. Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of what I'm seeing here. And again, remember, this is a general reading, and it's not trying to insult your mother at all. It's just like, how did she really feel? Is seeing that, you know, if things were coming in too deeply, she really struggled, you know, and she just started to melt down and like just not know how to deal with it. So it was easier to sort of detach and move on, and sort of like, oh, I wish that had worked out better, but oh, that's okay, you know, I'm gonna go to work, or I'm gonna go shopping, or, you know, and just sort of let it all fluff away, and then wonder why things didn't work out, because I don't think she really had the ability to dig deep and look at herself. It was too scary, you know. I think that she was really afraid to go in and connect to who she really was, and I don't think she really even understood how impactful it could have been for the people around her. So be really careful about that, you guys, to not detach from anything, and don't, like, learn how to be attached to outcomes that you created. Do you know what I mean? And if it's hurting other people, be responsible for that. So this is a really tricky one. So let's see, what did my mother hope for me? So we've got the 7 of air here. So I had this card in another reading, and I actually still have the page open to it. So I'm gonna move the light here because I think you guys need to hear this. Okay. And it's still not bright enough. Now is the time to live life on my own terms. So I must find the courage to reject conformity. I'm gonna turn the light up, you guys. I'm sorry, I just can't see anything. Listening to my yearning for independence is key to breaking free of groupthink and attending to my own needs. So your mother really wants you to, sorry, you know, if your mother had a really hard time and struggled, and like she doesn't want you to be like that. She doesn't want you to emulate that. She wants you to be able to reach for whatever you want to and enjoy everything, you know. And again, you've got this character here that is detached, but she's surrounded by all this, you know, foul, you know, FOWL. So I think there's a real deep love there, but it could feel a little bit detached, and to some of you it could feel like there's a lack of responsibility, but that's all she can take. That's all she can take, you know. I think she's extremely fragile, but she wants for you not to be fragile, and she wants you to be powerful and move on and understand that there's deeper things that you can be doing for your life. And that you are a very, very powerful person, but maybe the person that you grew up with wasn't as powerful, but that was her soul karmic journey in this lifetime, right? So, wow, you guys, this is really, really deep. So what did my mother have to sacrifice for me? So she could have had her journey cut short a little bit here with the Fool card. You know, motherhood, it really does change people. I'm just really seeing here something was cut short, and it's really important for you guys not to feel like you were responsible for that in this moment here. When I pull this card, I just really want you guys to understand that everybody has choices in their life. This is why you're being given this card here with the 7 of air, because you need to take the choice here to make yourself as big and as expansive as you want it to be. But it's like this journey that your mother expected, it didn't turn out how she expected, you know. Sometimes raising children can be incredibly difficult. It can be incredibly exhausting. It's expensive, you know, and there's a lot of single mothers out there. So, you know, having to work sometimes multiple jobs and leaving the care of the children to somebody else while the mother is out supporting them. I'm really seeing here a journey that went sort of awry than what was idealized. And you know, this is why we've got somebody sort of mourning a lifetime that didn't quite turn out the way that they wanted to, and not being able to really shoulder the responsibility for feeling that way. So they kind of detach and just, you know, and I think for some of you, it could seem that your mother really seems a little bit irresponsible. She's not. Like, she's protecting herself. I really see, like, and this is a mother wound, like, and you guys have some stuff to repair here, but I really see that your mother has, like, a very deep, also, she's got injuries to her heart, too. And she really did her best. And her life didn't turn out the way that she wanted it to. And I really see that she really did her best. She did her best with what she could. And that's all you can ask from somebody, you know, and her journey just didn't appear that the way that she wanted it to. And sometimes she looks back past when you were born and thinks, well, what if I had done that? And that's got nothing to do with you guys. That's got nothing to do with you. You know, and that's her wound to clear up. And if it sounds like your mother, maybe she needs to watch this. But, you know, you have to be able to forgive people because they always do the best that they can, even if it's not the best. You know, I mean, people are given a toolkit and they reach certain levels in their life, and then they do the best in that moment with the knowledge and the tools that they have present in that moment. So being able to understand that can help you sort of detach a little bit, right? So what lesson did your mother learn because of you? So we have the 9 of water. I mean, and this is just a beautiful love story, right? So your mother, even if she felt like this sort of tragedy, and you might not even know these things about your mother, right? Which is why we're doing this reading. Because there's some things like parents don't tell their children, but it's going to come out, it's going to appear in the way that they behave, right? Or it's going to reflect out in some way. So she learned that there is a great happiness in spite of the pain. You know, there's the 9 of water here, which speaks of having a deep joy. So I think that your mother is really somebody that is not in touch very deeply with who she is. And again, it's a general reading, guys. And for some of you, she just doesn't want to touch those feelings because it hurts too much, you know, and she just wants to stay in this present moment. And sometimes she will go back. She will go back to this. And you might lose her for a couple days while she goes and reminisces and like does a what if. But, you know, when you get to a certain age, you start to understand things like that a little bit better. Like when you have your own kids and you kind of look back and go, oh yeah, okay. And then you might understand your mother a little bit better. But your mother learned the deepest love of all, you know, the greatest love of all because of you, the greatest joy of all. You know, and she would walk this path again 1,000,000 times. But nobody's journey is without regret or pain, you know? So you're going to feel that because she's only human. So she really did learn love through you. So, guys, it's like a river runs through it. Like it really, all this love flows through your family, even though, you know, it could be incredibly dark and stormy and twisted. There's a deep love in your family, guys. So this one really like took a lot out of me, you guys. So I hope it helped you guys heal a little bit. And I'm going to wrap it up, you guys. So take care. All right. All the best. Take care.